All right, today we're taking a look at B flat blues using cycles. In other words, some more interesting chord progressions that are classic, and I'll explain them as we go along. As a matter of fact, I think I'll jump right in and sort of explain it now. Here we've got a 12 bar blues that's a little more complex than just the basic three chord blues. We have the one chord here, and then the four chord, obviously, then the one, and then another one, then the four, and we call this the augmented four diminished, because it's built from the raised fourth degree, and then that leads to the fifth degree of the or the fifth of the B flat seven chord, sounding like this. And then we go down to the G7 as I just did. And then that G7 is the five that leads to the C minor. So in other words, the G7 chord is the five chord in the key of C minor. So that's a cycle, right? So we put in that cycle, and then the C minor becomes the two chord of F7. And so that's also a cycle, a 2-5. And then to the back to the one chord, and we do a quick little turnaround to the four chord, back to the one chord, quick little turnaround to the five chord. Now, there are scads of variations on a 12 bar and on 12 bars with cycles and so on. But this is a pretty nice and straightforward one that you should memorize and get it underneath your fingers. In a jazz blues type of style, what you're doing is you're identifying each chord as they go by, and so these chord progressions become really important. B flat seven, E, B flat seven, E, and you get the idea, right? And then if I played the E diminished seventh. So you can hear that each one of those chords, I'm defining each chord that comes up with the most characteristic notes that are in that chord. The most characteristic notes being the 3 and the 7. You sort of want to nail a 3 and a 7. The flat 3 would be a blue note, right? That classic. That bites. That's just the flat 3 and the flat 7, and then the major 3 and the major flat 3, flat 7, and then major 3. Right? And the beauty of learning how to solo in this way is you can start to extrapolate this across the entire fretboard. For this lesson, I'm sort of sticking right in this box right here, if you will, right, and underneath my each one of these chords, I can see my Mixolydian mode or my arpeggio for each chord, and that's what you should do with progressions like this that become a little bit more interesting because when they cycle more, because you can nail those cycles in your soloing as well, right? Okay, So let's just take a look at what this chord sounds like. This progression sounds like, and stay out of stay away from the bulky chords. Stick to these ones because they sort of move. So here, B flat 7, E flat 7. I better stop there. The chromatic movement of these chords, you can approach these chords from a semitone up or a semitone below, right? And there's a long-winded explanation why it works, but let's just say it works. It works harmonically with you know convoluted explanations that we don't really need right here. And so again, you get this walking thing happening if you start to move them by semitone. And here, there's that diminished to the inversion of the B flat 7 chord with the fifth in the bass, so that we get that connection. G7, and then we start a cycle up to the C minor. C minor does a 2-5, right? A 2-5 to the F7. And so on, and now you can add your 13s, right? Just change up the feel, or 9. Diminished. Beginning of the cycle. 2-5, 1-4, 1-5. You get the idea, right? I'm trying to just stick with the elements of just this chord progression without any additional passing chords and so on, because I want to explain each one of them to you as you move forward. But suffice to say, if you want to start learning how to solo over something like this, you can start with something as simple as the root and the third. Root 3, and then we have there's the passing note, right? Going to the E, right? Back to the root. And then my turn. And then to the, well, wherever you want to go. You get the idea, right? And that's how you start building a real solo, where every single one of the notes counts. There's no, as Joe Pass said once, I don't play bullshit notes, and there's none there. You're just playing the notes of you're just playing the notes of the chords, right? And you can clearly hear it because the chord becomes expressed in a different way, in a more melodic way, that's controlled by you creatively. You are creating the phrasing. You are creating the direction of the line. All right. So that's a little bit more of a complicated 12-bar blues, and leading a little bit more toward the cycling end of things, which is a whole bunch of fun. And those cycles can keep going on, and we'll examine those in other sessions. All right, thanks for stopping by. Make sure that you subscribe if this is meaningful to you, and click like if there's anything that we can answer. If you've got questions, the meaning of life, or the notes in a 7/9 arpeggio, please let us know, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. As far as that first question is concerned, that might take a little bit longer than the second question. Okay, so thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you real soon.